The White House stood as the backdrop for a moment of profound diplomatic significance. U.S. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump were preparing to welcome Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to the nation's most iconic residence. The event was far more than a formal dinner. It was a manifestation of the ever-strengthening ties between the United States and Saudi Arabia. These ties, rooted in mutual economic, security and geopolitical interests, have deepened over the years, and this evening would be another key chapter in that ongoing relationship. As President Trump and First Lady Melania waited by the grand White House entrance, the scene was set. The anticipation in the air was palpable, as this dinner symbolized more than just a social gathering. It was a meeting of minds, a reaffirmation of the strategic alliance between two global powers. Their guest, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, is no stranger to high-stakes diplomacy. Known for his bold foreign policy moves and his vision of transforming Saudi Arabia into a global powerhouse, the Crown Prince's visit was not only a moment for pleasantries, but also an opportunity to engage in serious discussions on issues that impact not just the US and Saudi Arabia, but the world at large. The arrival of the Crown Prince was met with the familiar sounds of cameras clicking and reporters eager to capture every moment. As the black sedan pulled up to the entrance of the White House, the awaiting crowd was on edge. Out stepped Mohammed bin Salman, a leader whose presence commands attention and whose decisions ripple throughout the Middle East, dressed impeccably in a black suit. The Crown Prince's smile radiated a sense of cordiality as he was greeted warmly by President Trump and the First Lady. This was a moment of diplomacy in action, a handshake that carried with it years of negotiations, agreements, and shared interests. With the arrival of the Crown Prince, the cameras were quick to capture the greeting, a moment of significance that symbolized more than just the ceremonial aspect of the visit. President Trump and Melania Trump welcomed Mohammed bin Salman with smiles and firm handshakes, setting the tone for an evening of both camaraderie and serious discussion. The presence of the Crown Prince in Washington underscored the growing importance of U.S. Saudi relations in an increasingly complex world. Their collaboration on security, trade and energy policy has far-reaching implications not just for their respective countries, but for global stability as a whole. As the three leaders made their way inside the White House, it was clear that this dinner was not merely a social event, but a calculated move in the intricate world of international diplomacy. The setting, a luxurious black-tie dinner in the heart of Washington, D.C., was designed to create an atmosphere conducive to conversation and negotiation. In such settings, where the formality of the event meets the weight of political responsibility, decisions are made that can shape global outcomes. Inside the White House, the dinner took on a more intimate and personal tone. The extravagant setting contrasted sharply with the crucial decisions being made at the table. Conversations flowed across a wide range of topics, some light-hearted, others more serious. At the core of these discussions were the shared priorities of both nations: regional security, oil prices, and defense collaborations. This dinner was an opportunity for both President Trump and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to continue the ongoing dialogue on how they can work together to address these critical issues. The dinner conversation, while cordial, was far from casual. As the two leaders and their guests settled into their seats, it was clear that this was a pivotal moment in U.S. Saudi relations. Over the past few years, both countries had managed to set aside differences to focus on common interests, most notably ensuring stability in the Middle East and securing favorable trade agreements. With this dinner, the two sides would further solidify their commitment to these goals. As the evening unfolded, the focus shifted to the future of global security and trade, areas where the US and Saudi Arabia have long shared common ground. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia plays a key role in maintaining stability in the Middle East, and its strategic importance to the United States cannot be overstated. The discussions around defense, energy, and counter-terrorism, while technical and often behind closed doors, were very much present during this dinner. Both leaders know that their countries must remain united in their efforts to ensure the security of the region and the world at large. Throughout the evening, there was a subtle but clear acknowledgement that the personal relationships between the leaders were just as important as the formal policies being discussed. Diplomacy is not merely about official meetings and agreements. It is about the rapport and trust built between individuals. In that regard, the personal dynamics between President Trump, First Lady Melania, and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman are critical to the success of their alliance. A dinner like this is more than a chance to break bread. It is an opportunity to build the kind of relationships that lead to long-lasting agreements. The dinner progressed, so did the negotiations. Discussions on key issues such as energy policy, defense agreements, and the ongoing stability of the Gulf region played out in real time for the United States. Maintaining a strong relationship with Saudi Arabia is key to ensuring peace and security in a region that is often volatile. For Saudi Arabia, strengthening ties with the U.S. provides not only security, but also economic benefits, particularly in areas like trade and defense. In these intimate settings, away from the prying eyes of the press, both leaders were able to reflect on the past and chart a course for the future. The challenges facing both nations are complex, but so too are the opportunities. As the evening wound down, the discussions continued, with both leaders reaffirming their commitment to mutual goals. The dinner served as a reminder that diplomacy is not just about grand gestures, but also about the small, meaningful moments where shared understanding and trust are built. The significance of the dinner lingered. It was a reminder of the power of diplomacy, how a handshake, a shared meal, and a series of conversations can shape the course of international relations. For President Trump, First Lady Melania, and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the evening was not just about strengthening ties between their two countries, but about positioning both nations for success in an increasingly interconnected world. This dinner at the White House may have been a formal event, but its implications were anything but ceremonial. The decisions made in these settings have a profound impact on global stability, and the discussions held behind the closed doors of the White House could very well define the future of U.S. Saudi relations. As President Trump and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman continued their conversations, the world watched, knowing that this evening's dialogue would reverberate far beyond the walls of the White House. This dinner exemplified the power of diplomacy, the ability to foster cooperation between nations, to resolve differences, and to build relationships that transcend politics. For the United States and Saudi Arabia, this dinner marked not just another meeting, but a reaffirmation of their partnership, one that will continue to shape the geopolitical landscape for years to come.